Welcome to ArchRivals Football, sponsored by Raz Energy and Steiner Sports. Here is your starting playmaker Salins. Number 94, Alex the Bearman Kazzaz. Number 69, Ricky the Prez Litwinkowich. And in tribute to our fallen colleague, ArchRivals Football, Ring of Honor member, Alex Fleming. This show is a Pain Train Pipe Bomb production. What is up, everybody? It is Saturday, the 13th of November, here at Pipe Bomb Radio, Pain Train Pipe Bomb Productions. It is ArchRivals Football, Season 3, Week 10 in the NFL. And we have Kenny Kirkpatrick here from the K&K Sports Show. What's up, Kenny?
Hey, Ricky. What's going on, guys?
How you doing, Kenny?
Here. Thank you for having me.
And the Bearman is here as well. Darnell's at work. Okay, so we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of the way that the NFL has kind of spawned us this week. I don't even know why I really even want to talk about this game right now. Thursday Night Football.
I know why you don't.
There was an ongoing theme going on earlier this year that nobody has figured out. Lamar Jackson. I think Brian Flores and the Miami Dolphins did. Miami wins 22-10 on Thursday Night Football, and Lamar Jackson looked like a mere child.
I mean, that fumble return was it Lamar Jackson who fumbled on that play where the Dolphins picked it up and returned it to the house?
I really didn't get to see the entire game. I did get to see the brief highlights of it.
Okay.
And it's apparently now an ongoing theme that the Baltimore Ravens cannot start off the way that they're supposed to. I just don't understand it.
I noticed a little bit, guys. I'm down here in Maryland, and yeah, you're right, Ricky. You can't predict this team, but I pretty sure you and I called it that the Dolphins were going to cover the spread. Did I think the Ravens were going to win? No, but was I surprised? No, neither. They just lay eggs against these bad teams, and then they'll come out and play lights out against, they play whoever they got on their schedule next week. If it's like the Packers, for example, they'll come out and win by 28 against them. Like, they just don't show up for the teams that are below them. If they played the Jets next week, I would take the Jets. It's just how they are. I just don't get that team, and definitely don't trust them in the playoffs.
Critical Broncos fans actually confirms it. It was Watkins who fumbled the ball. Thank you, Critical Broncos fan. Appreciate it.
That's our faithful friend John from New Jersey, who's a Broncos fan. So,
man.
You find a little bit of an ongoing theme with that, Mr. Kenny.
Oh yeah.
Well, John's a good guy. He's a good man.
No, there's an ongoing theme because Kurt is also a Broncos fan living in New Jersey.
Oh yeah.
But you're a good man, John. You're a good man.
All I can say is this: like we see that the Ravens are supposed to be one of the top teams in the AFC, and that just doesn't work that way for some reason. Like they start off so well, and then for somehow in the middle part of the season itself, they just legit fall apart. This year they have not been able to put their foot on the gas at the beginning of the game through the first 10 weeks of the season. That's a problem.
I mean, it's a problem for the Ravens because, the Steelers are on a 4-game winning streak, and this week the Ravens could actually fall out of first place in the AFC North.
Well, that would be depending on the viability of a few games that we get to cover for this week coming up. So we are going to legit start off with, oh boy, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on CBS. The Buffalo Bills, off of a bye week, are traveling to MetLife Stadium against the New York Jets.
Actually, Buffalo got beat by Jacksonville last week.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad, because that felt like a bye week for them anyway.
Oh
This
boy.
is the way life is going to go here. So there has officially been named a starting quarterback for the New York Jets, Mr. Mike White. Turnpike Mike, who's played a total of 4 quarters and a little under half a quarter in the NFL. Any opinions on this guy on this game before we go any further? Because I have a feeling this is going to be a clusterfuck.
I do. Because Buffalo lost to Jacksonville the way they did, because of that, would it be a bad mistake to rule out the New York Jets in this game? Say that the New York Jets have no chance?
I'll let Kenny jump on that. Go ahead, Kenny.
I think the Bills got caught napping last week. I think that's the only way to put it. I think they had a hard week of practice. I really feel sorry for the Jets. I'm going to say the Jets have maybe a 5% chance of winning this game. You can't say 100% a team's going to win in the NFL, but if there was any gimmies, I think it's the Bills this week. And I'll ask a follow-up question real quick on this because it's Bills-Jets. Who wants to talk about the Bills-Jets for a long time, right? My follow-up question for Bear and Ricky, I know we talked about this. Is there a quarterback controversy now with Mike White and Zach Wilson and when Zach Wilson comes back?
All right, well, here's what my opinion is on this, because I can tell you right now, this has happened before, and I'm going to bring up a very, very interesting conversation, or one of the things that I said is a situation that happened with the New England Patriots back in the day. 2 guys, Drew Bledsoe and Tom Brady. Bledsoe was knocked out by a Jets player. Brady started. Brady got the hot hand. Drew Bledsoe rode the bench. In this situation, it's exactly the same. The question being is, can Mr. Turnpike Mike stay healthy in order to be able to carry the hot hand with the Jets? This is the question. Obviously now, Zach Wilson's going to be sitting on the bench. As much as he really, really, really hates it, okay, Joe Flacco is the backup quarterback for this team. More likely than anything, most head coaches would go with the experienced guy to have them run the offense. But if Mike White is running the offense crisp enough and efficient enough, you got to stay with the hot hand. Zach Wilson's not going anywhere for the next 4 seasons after this. Just remember that. He's signed to a 5-year rookie deal. The only odd man out in this situation is going to be Flacco at some point. But again, you're going to ride the hot hand. If that offense is running like a well-oiled machine, you go with what's going.
And listen to this real quick. I got the schedule in front of them. Take away Buffalo. They have 5 home games and 2 road games in the next 7. Those home games are Miami, Philadelphia, New Orleans with their injuries and backup quarterback now, and Jacksonville. All winnable games. Their 2 road games in the next 7 are Houston and Miami. Mike White might steal this job because of that schedule. If he wins games, those are all winnable games for the Jets, all joking aside.
I'm not sure if it's a quarterback controversy. I'd rather probably say a quarterback crisis. A controversy, I always label a controversy when the right guy is not given the job, when the starting quarterback is the wrong person. A crisis is where, because this guy gets hurt, now this guy goes in. Then the guy who takes over is playing good, and then the interim quarterback is healed, and then some people want him back in. But the others say, no, that's not fair. This guy's been doing his job. This guy should stay. That's why I call it a crisis, because our heads keep spinning. We don't know where to go.
Listen,
that's why I utilize crisis. Does that make sense?
I'm going to steal a little bit of the K&K thunder, if you don't mind, Kenny.
Absolutely.
We discussed it the other night. It was actually on Wednesday and Thursday. They didn't know what they had in Mike White because they pretty much put Zach Wilson into this situation. AKA back in the day where they put Peyton Manning in and the Colts went 1-15. They're trying to groom a quarterback by fire. Unfortunately, the fire fizzled out. Zach Wilson has tremendously large happy feet. He's not accurate enough right now. He's not efficient enough right now. Okay? And if you want to know where the happy feet thing comes from, if you've not seen the Disney movie Happy Feet with the millions of penguins in it, go check it out. Telling you, class film, you'll laugh your ass off and have that vision in your head forever. Okay? They really should have had Flacco still in camp back in the day to have a veteran push Zach Wilson and bring him along. They went in with zero experience in that camp for every quarterback that they had in preseason. Okay? Flacco obviously was a free agent, signed with the Eagles, or they picked him up or whatever and said, hey, we got to have somebody here. For Jalen Hurts to kind of like rim off of a little bit, that's the Jets' fault. But at this point right now, if Mike White is running, this game might be a lot closer than everybody is going to expect.
Good point. I'll just bring up one guy from the past that teams need to start doing it on. Aaron Rodgers, one of the best quarterbacks now. I know it's not working with Jordan Love right now, but Jordan Love's still not ready. Let the guy sit for 3 years. Aaron Rodgers was out with COVID, so we know why Jordan Love came in. But don't let the Jordan Love one game fool you. Aaron Rodgers sat behind Favre for how many years before he came in?
Yes, but only remember this, though, that Rodgers is only there till the end of this season, and that's it. So if there was any seasoning that should have been done, it should have been done last year and some of it this year. And obviously, I think all of that seasoning is just obliterated because Jordan Love came out and he looked tremendously flat for a guy that sat under Aaron Rodgers for, let's say, a year and a half so far. So,
that's
again,
right.
like it's a weird situation with that. Now, Vegas, according to this lovely thing, and I shout out Wade Kite because he lives in Vegas. They have Buffalo general consensus favored by 13, under over 48. I'm going to tell you, I think I'm going to go the same route. I'm picking Buffalo to win, but I think the Jets cover.
I'm going to take Buffalo covering the spread, very close to the spread. I'm going to say they pull away late. I think they're going to get a mistake or two from Mike White. I think they're going to show him a lot more than Cincinnati showed, and I think they're going to come out and I think they're going to win by 17. I'm going to say in this game. I would go with the under in the total.
What do you got there, man?
Well, this game, Knox is coming back for the Bills, isn't he? I think he's been cleared to come back.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
In that case, I mean, the Bills get a good weapon back, but now they are on the road. They are on the road. The Bills are definitely going to win, but it ain't going to be easy. I mean, it never is. Like, no matter how bad the Jets are. I mean, I always say this: there's no such thing as an easy win. I mean, but I still have the Bills winning, but I think the fourth quarter is going to be where the Bills finally say, "All right, enough with this crap. Let's get this over with. Let's get this finished." So, I think the Jets are going to be in it for possibly the first 3 quarters, and after that, the Bills are just going to finally say, "Enough of this crap."
All right.
Real quick, one more quarterback to mention that this worked with. We talked about Aaron Rodgers, but Pat Mahomes sat down behind Alex Smith, and look at Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, it's usually the best way to have your rookie guys get seasoning. I don't think anybody can really fit the format that they had in Indy with Peyton. I think Peyton is obviously a totally different animal than a lot of these QBs that are coming out of college right now, and I think also maybe the guarantee probably the pedigree is a little bit different as well. All right, next up, Tampa at Washington. Another 1 o'clock game. This game is going to be on Fox. And the Vegas numbers and I love to live by these Vegas numbers sometimes, has the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a 10-point favorite, 52 under over. Washington, a big home dog.
Don't want to interrupt, but hey, what's up, Lars? He's in the chat.
Yes, he does because he missed Pipe Bomb Radio yesterday.
Yeah, well, he'd be on the chat anyway.
So
Loyal Lars.
So Tampa Bay had the week off last week. Seems like they haven't played in forever.
Seems like it.
And the Washington football team, which I really want to switch the letters around, WTF instead of WFT. They have been a miserable bunch this entire season.
Another team down here in Maryland that I'll briefly talk about because I'm not a Washington fan. Obviously, for those who don't know, I'm a Giants fan. Grew up in New Jersey my whole life. But this team really probably the biggest disappointment in the NFL. You can arguably say biggest disappointment in the NFL this year. Fitzpatrick went down early. Heineke was all this hype about him. I get to watch a lot of the games down here. I've not seen. You see flashes from him, but you see a lot of inconsistencies. You see a backup quarterback out of Tyler Heineke. I think they're getting Antonio Gibson back healthy now. I think he's getting healthier. I could see Tampa Bay struggling in this game, sleeping with their week off, partying, down in Tampa, Brady on the boat, whatever they were doing. But I could see them coming out napping. Weather's a little cold here in Washington. But I'm going to take Tampa squeezing one out by about 3 in this game, Ricky.
What you got, Batman?
I agree. As bad as Washington is, the defense is still out there. And what I mean out there is even though if they get overwhelmed with total offense because of all the total offense yards they've allowed this season, they still sack the quarterback. They still put pressure. They still get takeaways. So that's why I say they're still out there. But the problem is Tyler Heineke, I do root for this guy because this dude can either have a good game or a bad game. He can surprise the hell out of us, and he's done that before. But the problem is he's inconsistent, and I've described him as a guy who's basically he's David fighting 10 Goliaths at once. He's got a stick in one hand and a stone in the other.
Are we talking about the toothpick again?
Yeah, the toothpick.
Yes, it's a toothpick, not a stick.
Yeah, you'll probably just have to keep reminding me. I'm sorry, but Heineke's gonna definitely he's courageous, and I'm sure he's probably gonna start off strong, and he's probably gonna have some respectable numbers. But now in Tampa's case, I think Robert Gronkowski has been ruled out this week, but this time instead of the ribs, I think it's the back. But I'm not sure if that's gonna make too much of a difference. But Washington at first, I think in the first half, Washington's gonna put up a fight, but I think in the second half it's gonna tell a different story because Tampa's gonna be like Buffalo says. They're gonna say, "All right, enough of this."
Well, here are a few ear-blowing numbers that you're going to have from me for this week. Ron Rivera is 4-6 as a head coach in the first game after a bye week. Bruce Arians is 5-2 in the same situation. So they're both coming off the bye week. Arians has a better record coming off the bye. Antonio Gibson has fewer than 60 rush yards and 0 touchdowns in the last 3 games, longest streak of his career. And let's see here. What's the other number that I popped out here? Washington has a 31.4% QB pressure rate this year, 3rd highest in the NFL. Brady has only been pressured 16.9% of dropbacks, lowest in the NGS era. I don't know what the NGS era is, but
interesting. Not interesting, but a fact that I just thought of. This is a rematch of last year's playoff game. Tampa knocked Washington out in the playoffs last year.
So a lot of predictions that I've seen have gone as a 10-point difference. So that would mean that I probably would have to go with Washington with the points and Tampa straight up. Once again, by the way, if you do use any of our analysis whatsoever for your betting pleasures, this is purely for amusement. If you do, there will be severe penalties taken. That is from my lawyer. Just notifying you guys on that lovely little tidbit.
It's only fair to give man a fair warning, right, Ricky?
Yes, because if you do, then I take 10% of your winnings. Okay, next up, Falcons at Cowboys.
Oh God.
This should be an amusing matchup. Vegas has this matchup as a Dallas 8-point favorite at home, under over of 55.
You gentlemen have to go first.
Yeah, Alex is going to have a lovely speech for this.
Okay. You want to go, Ricky? You want me to go first?
Go
on
for
this
it.
one?
Go for it.
Broncos really showed up last week, caught Dallas sleeping. I'm a Giants fan. I'm not saying this because I'm an NFC East guy. I still don't believe in the Dallas defense. Atlanta also doesn't play defense, so I could see why that's a 55-point over-under. And if you're going to give me 8 with Atlanta, who's still Cordell Patterson, where did he come from? Is he a different person in that body? Because he's just become like top 5 offensive player in the NFL this year.
Once again,
And
he is not a running back. He is a hybrid. Okay.
yeah,
Sometimes, and there's another player that I kind of will mention this about, and this happened in Green Bay about 4 seasons ago. Number 88, Ty Montgomery, went from wide receiver to running back. Why? Because all of Green Bay's running backs got hurt. That was the beginning of the hybrid era, and this is where Cordell Patterson fits well. Sorry to cut you off, but had to be.
No. That's a great fact. It's a great point. Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I could see this being a close game. I would not be surprised if Atlanta catches Dallas, but I think you're gonna see a better Dak Prescott. I think you're gonna see it be more of a ground control game. I'm gonna take Dallas by a touchdown. But if I was a betting person and betting, I would take the points with the Falcons. But Dallas is gonna win this game by a touchdown.
Bearman, I'm going to let you have the floor. Get it all out now. And don't worry, I'm not playing the Roadrunner thing either.
Well, I still can't get over the fact that John's Broncos beat my Cowboys in an embarrassing way. The fact is, the Cowboys were not only unprepared, but they were flat out arrogant. And I do mean they were arrogant. Okay, I don't want to hear that Dak Prescott was rusty. Okay, despite the injuries, this Cowboys rushing defense is still playing exceptionally well. It's going to be harder now that Randy Gregory's gone for at least 3 weeks. But there's still some players out there to keep an eye on on the defense. I'm sure Micah Parsons is going to be moved to a slight edge role, and he's been doing fine. But this Cowboys team, I hope they had a hard practice this week. I hope they got their shit together because this was unacceptable. They got to get it done this week because a loss this week, the whole season can go up in smoke. Now, Atlanta's defense is not that good, especially on the running game. So that's why I said in my preview, if we have to run the ball 90% of the time, even if it's so far as Dak Prescott doesn't have to bother throwing the ball, then so be it. Because in football, if the running game is super effective, if it keeps working, you keep doing it. You don't abandon it. When the running game is so good and it's winning you the game, abandoning it is the stupidest thing to do. So I think the running game is going to have a huge thing for the Cowboys. I'm sure Dak Prescott's probably going to be slide on the good on the passing game. But Atlanta's offense is high power too. Kyle Pitts is going to be a factor. Cordell Patterson on the wide receiving game is going to be out there too. And with the defenses like that, I'm sure it's going to be a tough game, but it's not going to be easy for Dallas. I'm still going to pick the Cowboys, even though last week I had a hard time not being able to find out how I can. But I'm going to keep Ricky's advice. I'm going to have faith in my Cowboys, but I'm still going to give the Cowboys. But they better get their shit together, and I hope they did get it together this week.
Well, I'm also going to shout out that our other sports analyst who does all of our research, Mr. Enzo Pontrelli, is watching us in the Playmakers group. So I have to try to figure out how to keep those comments along with ours, so my phone doesn't go off 50 times like a freaking mad idiot. So Enzo, if you can, either jump over to ArchRivals or Pipe Bomb, and you get the comments in there too.
Oh, and critical Broncos fan, I would say, you know what? And I'm still very worried about Terrence Steele being at left tackle.
Well, one of my major concerns is, and I didn't kind of notice it in the Cowboy game last week, is that Dak was missing a piece of his left side. that kind of did throw off his passing attack a little bit because he was getting rushed off that left side like crazy. So I think that's going to be a major part of this because he is now listed as out again. Mr. Tyron Smith. They're going to lose a little bit of pass rush this week. I don't think that's really going to affect them very much. I do kind of feel bad for Matt Ryan, though, because if he gets hit a lot, it's going to be a rough day in the yard for him.
And he's more than likely to get hit a lot.
And I think Dallas at home is going to play a little bit of a factor to it. I think this is, again, one of those games where I'm going to take the points with the road team and straight up on the home team. So I'm taking Dallas straight up. I'm going to take the Falcons with the points. All right. This game took a very big shift for the worst. New Orleans at Tennessee, 1 o'clock on CBS. This game here lost another key component. And Kenny, you'll probably agree with the Thursday night pick again on this. Now the Saints are going to be without Alvin Kamara.
Big loss. No Winston now, and no Winston out for the year. You got Trevor Siemian at quarterback. Good move by the Saints though to get Mark Ingram back, or they'd be in a lot of trouble. I'm not going to count the Saints out yet, but how can you go against the Titans at home the way they've been playing? I had them with Kamara. I had Tennessee with Kamara playing, and now not playing. I just can't see Tennessee losing. They picked up Adrian Peterson, and the guy's still doing it at his age. So everybody's getting healthy on the Titans team, and they're playing defense over there in Tennessee now. So I think this is going to be Tennessee big all day.
Yeah, I agree. You got to give me the Titans. I mean, this Titans defense is good. I mean, the way they beat the Rams last week, I mean, that has to be convincing that the Titans defense is for real. And I think this defense is only going to keep, if they can bring up that confidence, and just build on it, which I believe they will, Tennessee has got this. And the fact that, Alvin Kamara being out, that's a huge loss. I mean, they already don't have Michael Thomas as well. Siemian is definitely a guy you don't want to underestimate, because Siemian is, some people don't want to say he's good, but he is good. But Siemian could have a respectable game, but I'm not sure if Siemian by himself can do it. I mean, he shouldn't have to be in a situation where he has to do it by himself, but I'm not sure if the Saints can actually take care of it. I just don't think that, so I have to go with the Titans.
Well,
I'll add one more quick thing. I think this could be the time you start seeing Taysom Hill have a big role in this game. That's the only guy that may have a big role in this game, because he hasn't had a big role yet this year, and now you got Kamara and the quarterback hurt. You might see a lot of Taysom Hill gadget plays this game.
Maybe.
Well, I could definitely tell you now, because I just actually was informed the same thing that Enzo has just notified us of. Julio Jones just got put on the IR for a knee injury, apparently, hamstring. So that kind of takes a weapon away now with the loss of the King. A.J. Brown's is going to be very questionable on this because he still has that knee injury he's still taking care of. But I think the Titans are still going to have a little bit more offensive firepower than the Saints at this point. Saints losing out on OBJ was probably a big... Again, I don't have a lot of faith in OBJ, but I really think them losing out on that receiver potential probably would have helped them better. I'm going to probably still roll with the Tennessee Titans, although I think that line changed from when we had it on Thursday. It's now Tennessee as a 3-point home favorite at 44 under over. It's going. This game is definitely going the over. Tennessee probably by 5. So I would probably take Tennessee giving the points. All right, a game we'll probably talk about 30 seconds with. 1 o'clock, CBS. Jacksonville at the Indianapolis Colts. Who would like to start off with this, Cherry?
I'll do my 10 seconds worth since it's 30 seconds total, right? Jaguars showed up last week with defense. Wasn't Trevor Lawrence. They're going to be in for a rude awakening in this dome in Indianapolis. This is going to be my good friend Eddie Siciliano's famous words on our show. This is going to be a woodshed. Indianapolis, big, easy.
Bearman?
10 seconds, huh?
Oh, if you could put it in 10 seconds.
Well, I'll try, starting now. Well, the Jaguars beat the Bills. We can't take that away. But now they play against the Colts. But this game, I'm not sure if Jacksonville could build on it, so just give me the Colts. And I'm pretty sure that was not 10 seconds.
Yeah, it probably wasn't.
I tried though, so can we?
You tried. For the game, let's see, where did the numbers go? Oh, they have Indy as a 11-point favorite at home. Over 48. Because we don't deal with half points on this show. Oh, that's a load of shit. Quote a famous for this game. Slobber knocker. Colts big. That's the way I have to go. And that was about 5 seconds.
If you want to quote him, it could go to the point. Stop the damn match.
Yeah, definitely. All right, another game where we really could not spend a lot of time on because I feel cheese puffs coming on, dancing in my forehead. Detroit Lions at the p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fox, only because it's the Detroit Lions. That's the reason why they're on Fox. Otherwise, this should be really a CBS game because they cover AFC more. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers is a 8-point over 43. Who would like to join this party?
I'll go quick. One of my co-hosts is, I feel sorry for him. He's a Michigan native, Detroit fan, Detroit sports fan, Michigan State. He's got Michigan State. The only thing I'll say is, why is this line only 8? Are they begging you to take Detroit? Do they know something? But that being said, Pittsburgh at home, I can't. There's no way I will take Detroit in this game with Pittsburgh playing Pittsburgh and how hot they've been.
Well, one of the reasons why they have Chase Claypool is out for the game with a toe injury.
Okay.
So that's probably a reason why it's not a double-digit deal.
Yeah, I'm still going to go Pittsburgh here. I'm an underdog guy, but I can't take this underdog.
Well, this won't take me 10 seconds. Just give me the Steelers.
I don't have faith in Big Ben yet. I don't. The run game is progressively getting better. I still don't have faith in Ben. I think Ben is extremely almost at the bottom of the hill. And as much as I want to really say Detroit has been in almost every game this year, which they have, it's in Pittsburgh. I can't go against the Steelers at home. And I don't think the 8 points is going to cover either. This is going to be like a 25-20 game. So I would take Detroit getting the point. All right. Oh, God. Are we going to talk about this? 1 o'clock, CBS. Cleveland visits the Raiders against the New England Patriots. And there have been a lot of news. There is no Damian Harris. He is now out concussion protocol. He will not make the game. Myles Garrett is banged up big time in this game. No Nick Chubb for the Browns. Well, I get the rest pop off.
Go ahead, Alex. It's yours.
As far as the Patriots go, I still feel like OBJ probably would have done well if he maybe had signed with the Patriots, but I don't want to get into that because especially with the words that he had to say about Mac Jones, which upset Ricky, I'm sure. Well, both teams are 5-4, and I'm looking at the Patriots right now. The Patriots are on a winning streak, approximately a 3-game winning streak right now. Now the Browns, well, based on last week's game, it doesn't look like Baker Mayfield is suffering any ill effects, even though he has an injury to his non-throwing shoulder, right?
Yeah.
Now, that was a game against the Bengals, and then the Bengals win with the way the Browns won. It was huge, but now this game is in New England. I'm going to go with the Patriots. I believe it's going to be an easy game. I think it comes down to a game-winning field goal is what it comes down to. But Myles Garrett is certainly going to give Mac Jones a hard time.
I agree with Alex. I think this game's going to be close. I am going to take the Patriots as well. I will guarantee one thing in this game, and one thing only. That guarantee is Bill Belichick is not going to let D'Ernest Johnson, Fangio did with the Broncos. D'Ernest Johnson, heck of a story, came in and did a great job against Denver, but Belichick is going to stop that. He's going to let Baker Mayfield try and beat him, and I just don't see it happening. I see New England winning by maybe 6-7 points in a nice hard-fought game in like the low 24-21 type game. So I'm going to be New England in this one.
Well, here is another one of those ear bliss. The hoodie, the evil genius, the evil empire, is career 7-2 versus the Browns, and undefeated in New England against the Cleveland Browns. That is a trend that apparently he loves to beat up on his old team. We also have a number here of New England has allowed 26.5 points per game this season versus opponents that currently have 5 wins, allowed 12.8 points per game against teams with fewer than 5 wins. So that means it's pretty much going to be somewhat of a decently high-scoring game, where we probably would have loved to have seen a rush attack versus a rush attack match at this point. Patriots are only down to 2 running backs currently right now, unless Rhamondre Stevenson is slated as a go on this game. I'm going to go with the road team, unfortunately. I'm changing the pick. I know I said it different on Thursday. Cleveland's going to have a little bit more of a slight advantage, I think, pass rush-wise, and a decently better running game than the Pats at this point. So I'm going to take Cleveland with the points.
Wow. I'm shocked there.
And watch the Patriots will win. Alex, does that not happen this year?
I don't know. GTA, brother.
Exactly the point. All right. We're at the 4 o'clock games, but before we go to the 4 o'clock games, I'm going to steal a little bit of Kenny's thunder here for a little bit. Because I think we can add on a little bit of something to the show. So technically we are at the midway point of the season. Okay? If you would have to pick a Super Bowl contender or winner now, who would it be? And then pick a player to win a award at the end of the season. Putting you guys on the spot. Pick the team that you think now has the best chance to win the Super Bowl, and then pick one player who's going to win some type of award at the end of the season.
I'll go. I think I got Super Bowl and award. It's going to be on the same team.
Okay.
I know we didn't get to this game yet, but I'm going to say the Rams. I'm going to go with the Rams.
Okay.
And a MVP award is going to be Matthew Stafford. And we'll get into the Rams game, I know, in a bit, but they just had a big loss in Robert Woods, so Beckham going there. I think now you're going to have to see Stafford come through, and I think you will. So I'll take Stafford and the Rams as my pick.
Bearman.
I mean, who else but the Rams have the best chance right now? But you know what? Since you get the Rams, I'm going to go with the Cardinals then. I mean, I'm not going to – I mean, I don't want to use the lame excuse. Well, he said exactly what I wanted to say. Even though, Kenny, you did. I mean, I'm gonna improvise because, that's possible. So I think the Cardinals also have a good chance. And I would say the MVP is obviously got to be Kyler Murray, provided he stays healthy.
I'm waiting to see what the chat says, because this is one of those things that, like, again, we're at the midway point of the season. Obviously, anything could change.
You see, Kenny, I didn't want to steal your thunder, brother. Even though Ricky wanted to steal somebody else's.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Ricky wanted to steal yours, but I'm not going to. I mean, Ricky's the heel. I'm the baby face.
My MVP pick was because now you need to show you're the most valuable player. You had a big loss with one of your big receivers now. Now it's time to show that you're the MVP.
Amen.
So that's why I went with him.
Well, I am going to go, believe it or not, this is going to be, I'm going to do the award first. Comeback Player of the Year, Joe Burrow. I
Okay.
think that is a very, very big deal. Yes, he's not had very many seasons playing in the NFL currently right now, but he does have a huge shot at doing that. And as much as I am going to regretfully say this pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, back to back. They still feel to me as the most complete team in the NFL currently right now. And as much as we're going to be covering that Ram game later, and Darnell's going to try to kick me in the nuts for saying this, OBJ is not Robert Woods. That offense took a significant hit because the way OBJ's been playing as of late, he's not going to be able to fill Robert Woods' shoes. So that's a huge loss for them. And last week against the Titans, that really showed the inconsistency of the Rams in a whole. The offensive line was not that great. And when the Titans got the opportunity to take them on offense, I should say, they ran all over them. So there's a lot of big possibilities at that point right now. I don't think the Rams are the most complete team, but I do see the Tampa Bay Bucks kind of going crazy. And Kenny, you're good on that, by the way.
Okay, thanks.
All right, back to the schedule. 4:05, Minnesota at the Chargers. I almost said San Diego again. They will forever be the San Diego Chargers. Chargers coming off of a win. Minnesota coming off of a very, very disappointing loss. It seems to be happening to them a lot this year. What do you guys got?
Well, Minnesota could easily be undefeated right now, right?
Yes.
And yet they're 3-5.
In a perfect world, they'd be undefeated, but they're not.
They're not. The Chargers had that win against the Eagles. Now, the Vikings are in a situation where they have the win in their hands, but they drop it and bam, shattered out into millions of pieces. The problem with the Vikings is, I mean, it's quite clear. You could say everything. They're not winning games. Then you have all the reasons why. So there you go. Minnesota is not winning games. Obviously, they can't find a way to finish it out. So, you know what? Flat out, I got to go with the Chargers. But Kirk Cousins is going to do his best. But, you know, when the Minnesota defense can't do its job, the offense can only go so far. But I got to go with the Chargers.
I'm going to respectfully disagree, and I'm going to respectfully disagree in a funny way. I think I figured out this Vikings team, and I'm going to do this as a betting perspective. This Chargers-Vikings game is not nationally televised. It's not the headline game at 4:00. It's not primetime game. That's when Kirk Cousins does good. If Kirk Cousins is on the spotlight, bet against him. If it's a game, take the Vikings. I'm going to take the Vikings here, only by that theory, and see if it works this week.
Here are
With
some
the outright money line win. They're going to win outright.
Okay, Enzo says tough call there. 4 teams who could go to the Super Bowl would be Tennessee, the Rams, Arizona, and Tampa Bay. Notice how he's only mentioned one AFC team. So that's a very, very big thing there. That's not saying the Browns. That's not saying the Bills. That's not saying the Raiders or the Chiefs or anything else. He's only listed one AFC team.
One sleeper team that people are sleeping on, and if the AFC's sleeping as a whole, watch out for the Steelers going forward.
It's very possible.
They're exact opposite of last year. They got hot early last year and then faded late. Now they got off to a slow start and starting to win now.
All right, so here's some numbers coming into the game. Adam Thielen has fewer than 30 yards receiving in 2 games against the Chargers. He had a season-low 6 catches or 6 yards at Week 9 at Baltimore. So Adam Thielen is not a part of the Vikings offense. Justin Herbert has averaged 344 yards passing versus NFC teams this year. that could be a problem. Vikings have a lot of injuries on defense. There's no Anthony Barr this weekend either, so that should make it fun. I have the Chargers winning by 3, and they would push if that happens because the Chargers are giving 3 points, and I'm going to go over. All right. Carolina goes to the desert. Panthers Cardinals 4:05 Eastern Standard Time on Fox. I really would have thought this would have been a doozy, but Mr. Icy Ghosts is got a broken shoulder blade. He'll be out for quite a few weeks. PJ Walker starting. Chris McCaffrey is active. Kenny, I'll shoot with you first.
Yeah, I mean, what do we have word on Kyler Murray yet, or is it Colt McCoy, or is it
Has
Kyler?
not been seen in practice as of late. Let me just double check that for the injuries. Cardinals. He is questionable, listed as questionable. That was as of today.
I'm going to take the Cardinals both ways. I'm going to say if Colt McCoy starts for the Cardinals, for the betting people out there, take the points. But if Kyler Murray's starting, take the Cardinals with the points. But I'm going to take the Cardinals either way in this one. PJ Walker, he's not going to do anything down there in the desert. And this Cardinal team ain't going to lay an egg against him. Defense is going to show up. I think it's a low-scoring game.
I think because of how Carolina is with the quarterback situation, it doesn't matter if it's Colt McCoy or Kyler Murray. As far as that goes, is DeAndre Hopkins healthy, by the way, Ricky?
He's not listed on the injury report.
Okay. The defense are going to show up. I mean, Carolina's defense could, but the fact that the quarterback problem in Carolina is that such a bad problem. If the offense can't do its job and the defense eventually gets exhausted, then Arizona's going to take advantage of it. But either way, I got Arizona.
Arizona last week kind of showed me that regardless of whether Kyler Murray was there, they put up points on the San Francisco 49ers. We all bit the bullet because we all were like, oh, there's no Kyler Murray, there's no D-Hop, let's not put. I will go out on the limb and say right now, Cam Newton signing with the Panthers, he's going to be at least 3 weeks away. PJ Walker for now. Even if they made a small play package for Cam after him signing yesterday, I don't see him really suiting up. He's going to be sitting on the sidelines. I don't even know who their backup quarterback is after PJ Walker. I have completely lost faith in the Panthers whatsoever.
It might be the Will Grier, so they're in trouble.
Oh boy, yeah, they are in trouble. I'm gonna go with the old classic cartoon, Tweety Bird versus Sylvester the Cat. I'm going with Tweety Bird, baby. And the line for the game is Carolina as 11-point home fave. So just note that. I definitely know they're going over 44 points. That's a given. All right, we have now. I wish I had Kurt on for this segment. Philly at Denver on CBS. The line for this game currently right now is, wow, a 1.5-point Denver favorite.
I think everybody's projecting a letdown from the Broncos, and that makes me want to sway the other way. When everybody projects an upset or a line looks fishy, I'm going to take the home favorite here. Philly's not a great team, and they got to travel to Denver, and that's I'm sorry. Come November and December, that's a huge home field advantage for Denver in that thin air. And you got a young team in Philadelphia not used to it. I'm going to take the Broncos all day. I'm going to take the Broncos by 7 in this game.
Batman, what's doing?
I have to agree with Kenny. The Broncos are on a winning streak, and they want to really prove themselves. Both the situation in Philly, with the coach, the head coach just being so bad and everything going on. Yeah, I just can't. I have to go with Denver. Even though Denver is probably still be disadvantaged with the injuries, I still think Denver gets it done.
Like I said on Thursday, I will say it again this week. I think the Broncos are going to get a big head. Yes, all of the numbers do favorite them. However, I'm going to have to go Philly. Three letters that we say every week. Don't trust anyone. And as much as I really would love to put my faith in Denver, they're probably going to have one of those Jekyll and Hyde weeks where, oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, we've been, that's unexpected. Again, Philly's been running the ball more. Maybe Philly switches it up and passes the ball more this week than they do run the ball. Reverse psychology. Okay, this I thought would be a good game of the week. Again, there's still a lot of possibilities. 4:25 Eastern Standard Time on CBS. Two NFC teams play against each other. The Seattle Seahawks traveling to Cheese Country and Green Bay. This game here have a returning Aaron Rodgers and a returning